Hello everyone. Today I will be teaching you about orbital physics and, well, mostly maneuver nodes in Kerbal Space Program. So the first thing you may notice is that a Kerbal X was cheated into orbit because I really could not be bothered to bring it up here, and I just wanted to get straight to the maneuver nodes. So let's begin. Open your map and bring out your cursor by pushing down left joystick and hover over the blue line, that's your orbit line. Click A, then click Add Maneuver with A. So the first thing you'll see is this little circle with lines. This allows you to position where you want your maneuver node to be. Normally it's slow, but if you hold down LB, you can drag it around and it'll be very quick. It can also go through craft icons, which I know sounds weird, but yeah, I don't need to explain it. It's very simple. Alright, now if you click RB, it brings up the main part of the menus. It's axes. Basically, these allow you to plan your burn. So prograde and retrograde are the first axes that you can control automatically. Use your left joystick. Shoot. Sorry about that. Use your left joystick to push. If you push your left joystick upwards, you can push prograde, which will make your apoapse go upwards and make your orbital speed go higher. This is a good way to get to the Mun and any other location. That could be Duna or Pylo. Anyway, if you push your joystick downwards, it will do retrograde, which will decrease orbital velocity, thus pushing down your apoapse and eventually which is a good way to return to Kerbin from a Kerbin orbit, or land on the moon or anywhere you want to go. Sorry, do you pronounce it Mun? Because there's like a little asterisk thing. Sorry about that glitch. I don't know what that was. Anyway, so if you click LB, switch your axes that you can control to normal and anti-normal. Normal and anti-normal basically shift the inclination of your orbit. Inclination is measured from the poles to the equators. If you have a fully equatorial orbit, it will be 0-degree orbit inclination. But if you have it fully polar, it'd be a 90-degree inclination. This right now is probably a 45-degree inclination. Anyway, moving this up and down, not a good idea to shift your inclination next to the planetoid body or the celestial body, but farther out, it is very helpful. Radial in and radial out are the next axes that you can use. Radial in and radial out shift the plane of your orbit like prograde and retrograde, except instead of increasing velocity, how do I explain this? It moves the entire orbit. So, it's definitely an interesting one. But yes, it's very helpful for docking, actually. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick. Anyway, the next thing that there is this, by clicking RB. The X is to cancel out a maneuver node, completely delete it. You do that by clicking A on it, which should happen soon in my recording. There we go. And I'm just going to re-add the maneuver. The second thing is this plus. This makes when you're going to execute the maneuver, next orbit. So instead of in orbit, the next orbit, I'm gonna wait 2 orbits or 3 orbits. The minus reverses that effect, which is pretty self-explanatory. But yes. Anyway, next thing that we're gonna do is executing a maneuver. I'm going to make a quick maneuver to the Mun. It's gonna be a little bit inclinated. I don't know how you say that. Does it really matter? Anyway, so, the Mun is one of the easiest places to get. And now if you look, the blue is the orbit you're on. The yellow is the orbit you'll be on before your encounter. The purple is your encounter, and the green is after your encounter. Which is pretty self-explanatory. Blue is the one you're already on. Yellow is going to be after you execute the maneuver before the encounter. Purple is the encounter. And green is after the encounter. Whether from the gravity assist you most likely got, unless you're doing it off ghillie. You'll most likely have no gravity assist from ghillie. Maybe 1 meters, maybe like 0.1 meters per second, delta V. Anyway, so as you can see, that green line is how much delta V this burn is going to take. So you can go onto your map, and if you click ahead of the maneuver, you can click the next maneuver. Right under that green line is the node in and burn time. The node in T minus is shows you when you'll get to your node, how much seconds, minutes, hours, or years, or days it will take. The burn time is how long you're gonna have to put your engines on full thrust to do it. The burn time calculator can calculate really well since the last update, so it will immediately recalculate itself for if you put it on half thrust, for example. Anyway, you can also, so it might seem weird, but node in, you want to take your time to maneuver node and look at your burn time. You should start burning when your time to maneuver node is half of your burn time. Which is weird, but it's more fuel efficient for large burns. If you have a very minute burn, like for docking, I would actually recommend burning on the maneuver node. It will be more accurate. But planetary transfers, or, celestial body transfers, it's much easier to just cut in half. You'll save more fuel, and your encounter will be more accurate. Anyway, so what you can do is once you reach 10 meters a second, I'd recommend doing very slight burns. To cancel it out, just click the check mark, and if you look at your map, you have an encounter. Very nice, very happy. Makes us all happy. But that's your periapse. That's going to be the periapse of the Mun. If you focus your view on it, you can see how you're going to fly by it, which isn't that bad. It is at the edge of its SOI, though, of the SOI. Anyway, you can plot a maneuver even yellow orbital line, which is, you haven't even been there yet. But I'm just going to use retro to capture myself into a very high above line. I also inclinated myself using the normal and anti-normal vectors. Anyway, I'm going to show you. See, when you use too much fuel for your maneuver node, okay, so when you run out of fuel, when your maneuver node is too big that you would run out of fuel doing it, a red line will appear, or like a red brick. A red line is if you don't have enough fuel on the stage. A red brick type thing, filling up the green, is if you don't have enough fuel in your entire rocket to do it. Of course, I only have one stage right now, so it's not going to show me the red line. Anyways, encounters work as the yellow. So when you look at the map, when you finally get back, which should take a second, the yellow circle is when you're leaving the SOI. Or, no, the circle at the end is when you're leaving the SOI. If there's no circle, that's where you enter. Lots of new players make mistakes thinking that's where they enter, so they warp somewhere and completely miss their maneuver. My burn time is 10 seconds, so I'm going to wait till I have 5 seconds till I reach my maneuver node to burn. I'm just going to use normal time warp to skip through the 60 seconds, sorry. And burn. Get me some pictures there. Just pause the game to actually take a screenshot to be the thumbnail of this video. Or maybe just, well, we'll see, to be honest. If it isn't, I'm sorry. Anyway, this kind of concludes my small tutorial. I could do more if you'd like. Sorry that I'm just 13 and a half, so, yeah. But, you know, potato, potato. This was Net, aka non-existent talent, showing you a tutorial on console edition of Kerbal Space Program. So, yep, this was it. This isn't my real voice, by the way. You think it could actually be my real voice. I just have a very sore throat right now, and it's kind of painful to talk. So I'm going to conclude this video. Anyways, I hope this somewhat helped all the new players out there. I know there's quite a few. Anyway, goodbye. This was Net. Like, subscribe. You don't need to. More tutorials, maybe. Docking, landing on Duna. Just tell me what you'd like to see. I can do it. Trust me. Besides, SSTO Grand Tour. That I can't do. I'm very sorry. Or I could probably manage an SSTO Jewel 5, but not a Grand Tour. Anyway, thank you for watching. Goodbye, I suppose. I hope this helped. This was Net. Goodbye.